There's nothing like watching a grown man be brought to his knees, begging for his ex to take him back. Last night, I saw that exact thing play out right in front of me, and I almost fell out of my chair fighting the urge to cheer. Now, it's not like I'm this mean girl or that I enjoy seeing a man suffer. You have to understand that this was really a moment to celebrate, and I bet you'll be cheering too when I dish the details in a few minutes. I wish I could say it was me who made this man beg. And no, it wasn't a supermodel or young hot 20-something either. It was Tamara, my good friend, and until recently an unlikely hero. She's a woman who used to never get a second glance from anyone, anywhere. Well, until she started using a few sly attraction methods, but we'll get into that. Because Tamara is a normal-looking middle-aged mom, someone you see at the post office and Little League games, and out walking her golden retriever. Definitely not the kind of woman you would guess is turning men's heads at the grocery store these days. And in a minute, I'll share how a famous pop star helped Tamara get those crazy reactions. But first, let me share some gossip. It was an average Wednesday around the dinner table at Tamara's house, and suddenly a text flashed on Bill's phone before he could cover it up. "You were amazing last night, babe." And the clever name he'd given the sender? Naughty Nadia. Tamara felt her heart sputter like it was about to give out as the world froze in that moment. And seeing that one little text, Tamara knew her life would never be the same. You see, once upon a time, Tamara and Bill were college sweethearts who'd seemed to find their happily ever after. She said during her wedding vows that she knew the second she laid eyes on him that he was the man she was going to marry. From the outside, everything appeared to be nearly picture perfect. A house, 2 kids, a dog, and a solid 15-year marriage. What most women dream about. In fact, they had the kind of life that made many people a bit envious. But then Bill started working late and became emotionally distant. At first, Tamara assumed it was just work stress pulling Bill away. But as time went on and she felt more disconnected from Bill, a growing fear gnawed at her insides. Tamara became desperate to uncover the truth. But honestly, she wasn't even trying to snoop when Bill's phone lit up with that text. During dinner, he left his phone sitting right there, face up in the middle of the table, almost like he was begging to get caught. Once that text popped up, neither Bill or Tamara could hide from the truth any longer. Bill was cheating. I ran into Tamara the next day. I took one look at her puffy eyes and distraught face, and I knew immediately something was horribly wrong. So I invited her to come to my house. She'd barely entered the front door before she broke down sobbing and told me about the text and Naughty Nadia. Nadia was the new clerk at Bill's law firm. Turns out, Nadia was the reason he had been working late. Nadia with her flat tummy, perky boobs, who hangs on Bill's every word like he's Mr. Amazing. Tamara told me after seeing the text, Bill told her he wants a divorce, so he could start an exciting new life with 30-year-old Nadia, leaving Tamara and their marriage in the dust, like a worn-out coat he'd outgrown and forgotten in the process. I looked at my broken-hearted friend in a puddle of tears at my kitchen table, and a wave of heart-wrenching grief washed over me, and something inside me snapped. I remembered when I was in Tamara's shoes, shocked and reeling after discovering my man's Nadia. I choked back a sob and refilled our wine glasses as memories came flooding back. Discovering you are being cheated on is probably the worst moment any woman faces, but in my case, Nadia was also my best friend. I felt like I'd been stabbed in the heart and in the back. My best friend, who my kids adored, who'd taken vacations with us, the friend I shared everything with, was doing my husband. So without me knowing, I really was sharing everything with her. Ugh. I'm ashamed to say I begged him to stay. I thought forgiving him was less scary than being a single mom. My neediness just pushed him away even more. Our relationship was over. I spent several years as a shell of my former self. Miserable. Depressed, numb. I vigorously shook my head to make the painful loop of memories stop, and without thinking, I slammed my fist on the table, vowing right then and there that I could not let Tamara suffer like I had. Tamara looked at me, startled. "Sorry, Tam. I'm just so furious this happened to you. I'm going to help you through this. I promise." Tamara looked at me with her swollen red eyes and started to tear up again. We sat talking for a few more hours. When she left, I wrapped her in the biggest hug I could muster. That night, I tried to sleep. but I couldn't stop thinking of Tamara and how I had to help her. I was consumed with thoughts of despair, knowing exactly what she was feeling. I cried for her. I cried for myself. I cried for all the women who have ever felt abandoned. For women who've been rejected and had their confidence shaken. For women who've white-knuckled their way through relationships, hoping he doesn't leave. For women who felt like men have all the power when it comes to love. Women like Tamara. Women like me. Maybe even women like you. The next morning, I woke up with my mind still spinning. These thoughts would not leave my brain. What if there was a blueprint that could help Tamara heal and find true and lasting love? A blueprint that could sidestep heartbreak and help her attract a fantastic man. This blueprint had to be comprehensive. It couldn't just be strategies for getting a few dates or how to swing from the chandeliers in the bedroom. Because I know all sorts of sexual tricks that can get a man's attention. I've taught thousands of women those exact techniques in previous programs I'd created myself. But sexual tricks alone don't sustain a relationship forever, because his attention can eventually wander, no matter how flexible you may be. It needed to be a guide that teaches what makes a man stay for the long haul. What makes a man desire a woman to the degree he will work his entire life to win and keep her love? What qualities makes a man forsake other women and deeply commit? And heck, while I'm at it, what qualities, besides sex, will literally bring a man to his knees? I was pumped to scour the internet to find a love blueprint that could help my friend. But my excitement was short-lived, because what I found at first was a bunch of junk advice about how to manipulate guys and trick them. And sure, that stuff might work at first, but if you're a remotely decent person, it will make you feel pretty gross. You don't need to trick someone to love you. You just want a man to recognize how frigging amazing you are, right? And while manipulations can meet short-term goals, I believe in approaching relationships with integrity. A lasting relationship must be built on a solid foundation of truth and decency. Frustrated that I wasn't finding quality information that would actually help Tamara, I faced a tough realization. If this magical love blueprint doesn't exist, maybe I had to be the one to create it. But where to start? I thought to myself, what would Marilyn do? What advice would Elizabeth give? How would Sophia handle betrayal? Then it hit me. What if I studied iconic women through history? The notorious sirens and bombshells that possessed that it factor. I could discover what these women did that made other women want to be them and made men do anything to be with them. And once I figured that out, I could teach the secrets of the Marilyns, the Sophias, the Bridgets, and the Elizabeths to a woman of today. A woman like Tamara. A woman just like you. Well, nothing like setting a humongous goal for yourself, right? But my name is Felicity Keith. I'm a best-selling relationship author. I've created transformational programs for women before. Programs that got their start as remedies for my own relationship. Remedies I shared with my close female friends. Techniques and methods that work to improve the lives of tens of thousands of women. Well, I guess it's time to do it again, I said with renewed excitement. So I spent the next few months poring over every facet of these famous women, studying their body language, their tone of voice, their personal style, watching movies and videos and staring at photos, gleaning precious details of what made them such icons. I filled up my journal with a million notes and observations about these famous women. Then I dove even deeper into the science and psychology these sirens used. I read countless reports, interviewed experts, talked to dozens of men. I even took a class from a professional burlesque performer. Because I knew if I was going to make my broken friend Tamara a success in love, my methods had to be fail-proof. I had to go all in, getting this right, even if it pushed me into slapping on a pair of booby tassels and learning to shake my caboose like a pro. Because I couldn't risk giving Tamara crappy advice that didn't work and would just make her feel horrible all over again. With fierce determination, I pulled my notes and research together into cohesive theories, methods, and techniques. By this point, several months had passed from that dark day Tamara spilled the truth about her crumbling marriage at my kitchen table. During these months, we created a standing happy hour date. I helped her with Little League carpool. We took yoga classes. We even took a girls' trip with a couple of other moms, and that was a hoot. And I watched her start to come back to herself, to get her footing again, to even notice the good-looking bartender at our regular happy hour joint. When she finally commented on his cute butt, I knew it was time. Hey Tam, remember when I said I'd help you when you were ready to date? You are ready. With a deer in the headlights look, she just nodded at me. Don't worry, I've got a whole thing for you to read and follow. Super easy. And I'll be right there holding your hand the whole way. That night when I got home, I emailed her the document that I'd poured my heart into. I had titled it, The Siren Solution. Have him spellbound for keeps. The next morning, she called me, breathless. She had stayed up all night reading the whole thing cover to cover. Oh my God, Felicity, this is genius. I thought I was terrified to date, but I seriously can't wait to try this stuff. I think I want to try the Siren Strut first. Or maybe I Know You Love Me. What do you think? Ooh, I'm so excited. We spent the next hour dissecting the program and deciding what to tackle first. And Tamara exclaimed several times how she could actually see herself doing these methods, that becoming a siren actually felt attainable. Which thrilled me to no end, because what I discovered in my research and what ultimately became the common thread of the entire program is this. It's all about owning your feminine power, just like Marilyn did, just like Elizabeth did, just like Cleopatra did, just like you will too. Every lesson, method, and technique is meant to be custom fit to your exact needs, taste, and personal specifications. Bottom line, I am not going to ask you to become some unrecognizable weird version of yourself. After going through the Siren Solution, you will simply be an enhanced, more powerful version of the amazing woman you already are. The kind of woman who has men falling over themselves to be with you. And this is true whether you are already in a relationship and want to bring that spark roaring back like a wildfire, or if you're single and looking for the one. Now, I'm going to finish telling you all about Tamara's siren moment of triumph, but let me share for a quick sec what got her so giddy with excitement. Here's just a taste of what makes up the Siren Solution program. Want to make every man in a room sit up and take notice of you? Break out your Siren Strut and watch him line up begging for mere scraps of your attention. You will have a force field of fearlessness when you learn the Rejection Repellent. Once you know this, your days of hoping he calls or worrying about where your relationship is headed are over. It's a cure to all of those old anxieties, the ones that plague all of us from time to time. You can wrap any man around your finger with ease with Ingenue in control. He'll be so charmed he won't even know you've done it either. I can't get into too much detail here about the delicious diamonds at the top of your thighs method. It's a little bit naughty and a whole lot of fun. You'll be utterly amazed at your magnetic powers to attract pretty much anyone at your will once you put the I Know You Love Me technique to work. Imagine having no more negative thoughts about your body and enjoying a profound new level of confidence. The thought vacuum gives you exactly that. And then shimmy your way to be the star of your own private peep show. Yes, you, when you learn the secrets of striptease fundamentals. Even if you never show another soul, mastering these surprisingly easy moves elevates your siren appeal to astounding heights. Ever fantasized about playing the role of the mysterious sexpot? I teach you every little detail to bring it to life with an invitation to Intrigue. He will seriously have his mind blown in the best possible way when you surprise him with that one. And when you're ready to crank up the heat, use the Aphrodite response. This method causes a virtual brain chemistry explosion that leaves him satisfied and emotionally connected to you like he's never experienced with any woman before. And finally, learn to bring a man to his knees with the Watch Me Walk method. Warning, only use this when you really mean it, because it causes a man to turn his whole life upside down in order to win your love. Speaking of bringing a man to his knees, let's get back to Tamara's story. We had a ball trying out all of the lessons in the Siren Solution. Tamara did the I Know You Love Me approach at a local coffee shop and scored a date with a very handsome software developer. One night we went to see an 80s cover band, and I dared her to do her Siren Strut across the room. She channeled her inner pop star diva and ended up with a steady stream of dance partners the rest of the night. And it was that same night, she admitted, she tried out the striptease lessons and how sensual and sexy she now felt. She also had a guy who seemed great at first, but turned out to be not quite right. By using her laser discernment skills, she was able to recognize it quickly and easily cut ties. Tamara was having incredible amounts of fun meeting a variety of men and getting more attention than she ever dreamed about. She'd even heard Bill and Nadia split, But to her surprise, she no longer felt any stabby feelings of jealousy at the mention of Nadia anymore, because her own self-worth was off the charts. As winter rolled into spring, it was time for the annual Little League auction. We made plans to sit together as a foursome. Me, Kevin, Tamara, and her promising new beau, Todd. Kevin and I got there early, and when Tamara arrived, I smiled as I saw several heads turn to admire her as she strode toward our table. That's when I noticed Bill was there. He must have arrived when I wasn't looking, and when he saw Tamara with Todd, his eyes nearly popped out of his face. I watched as he craned his neck to watch Tamara's every movement. "Bill's here," I whispered as she sat next to me. She just smiled. As the event wore on, I watched Bill try to catch her eye, but she was too busy laughing at Todd's jokes to notice. Later, she excused herself to the ladies' room. Bill waited until she exited, then he cornered her. I could tell he was pleading with her with a look of pained desperation on his face. For a second, I thought she was going to falter, but then I saw her stand tall, shake her head no, with a compassionate half-smile, turn and walk away. The crushed look on Bill's face told me everything I needed to know. I knew he'd asked for another chance. I knew he recognized he'd lost the best thing he ever had. Possibly forever. Like I said, I don't like to see another person in pain, but in this case, I had to stifle my cheers and fist pumps at her triumph. Tamara made her way back to our table and gave me a knowing smile. Later, she told me everything I had suspected. Bill told her he'd made a huge mistake, throwing their marriage away. He begged her to consider giving him another chance, but she wasn't willing to do that. In the weeks that followed, Tamara reflected on this surprising turn of events. Her newfound lease on life and love led her to keep looking forward, not back. She shared with me that because of the Siren Solution, she had the ability to confidently make the best decisions for herself. The old Tamara would have gratefully, desperately taken Bill back in a heartbeat, squashing down her shame. But the new Tamara knows she deserves a man who knows her worth. We both know she's going to be A-okay. Just like I know you will be A-okay in your love life when you get your copy of the Siren Solution. In fact, you'll be more than okay. You'll experience a transformation in your approach to men that will change your life. Imagine for a moment how amazing you'll feel to no longer worry about being rejected, to know you are the one in control when it comes to men, dating, and love. That you finally know exactly how to attract your ideal man and have him fall in love with you for keeps. That if your long-term relationship feels stale, you have all the tools to snap his attention right back on you, where it belongs, easily. You might think gaining this level of expertise and power would come at a steep price, because other relationship experts and dating coaches charge upwards of $100 to $300 per hour of their time, which in many cases is a great value. But yikes! However, one of my goals is to enhance the lives of as many women as I can, so I made this program affordable. And when you say yes to the Siren Solution today, you're set up with lifetime access to the program. Every update or new morsel of research is all yours forever. And there's absolutely no risk to you, because I will let you try it out for 60 days to make sure you like it. And if you aren't satisfied, you can get a 100% refund. No questions asked. It's kind of a no-brainer to give yourself the gift of never feeling rejected again, the gift of adoration from the man of your dreams, the gift of not feeling powerless when it comes to love, the gift of owning your sexy siren status effortlessly. But in case you're still on the fence, I have some bonuses to sway your decision. Along with the entire Siren Solution program, I had to equip you with some extra knowledge in the form of 3 free gifts. Gift number 1. Body Confidence Secrets of a Burlesque Performer. Learn little-known secrets and tips about developing ultimate body confidence so you can feel totally sexy in your skin 24/7. Gift number 2. The best relationship articles ever. A collection of the top 10 most read and most shared articles in the entire history of the popular relationship site ilovemylsi.com. Gift number 3. 101 combos no man can resist. You get 101 sizzling questions to ask your man that give you laser insight right into the heart of his desires. Use them as texts or for in-person conversations that are guaranteed to bring you closer. And extra bonus, Siren Secret Society. This is my totally private, exclusive online community of sirens, a confidential place where we share, ask questions, and build friendships. You get access to the complete Siren Solution program, plus these free gifts, all for just $49. And should you change your mind about the Siren Solution, your 3 bonuses are yours to keep. Just my way of saying thank you for trying it out. I priced it this low because I want it to be affordable. I know other programs can cost hundreds of dollars, sometimes thousands, but I want to reach as many women as I can with this. And look at it this way. How much time and money have you wasted on the wrong men? Or being unhappy in your relationship? Spending hours hoping he'll call? Stalking him on social media to see if he's out with someone else? Exhausting yourself trying to look cute for someone who doesn't even appreciate your efforts? Going out for drinks with your girlfriends, trying to catch the eye of the handsome man across the room, but never even getting his name? And don't even think about money sunk into ice cream, chocolate, or other vices when you were disappointed in love yet again. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but I believe so strongly in the transformative power of this program. Because the most common thing I hear from women is regret about time wasted on the wrong man. And I don't want you to feel like you've wasted time in your relationships ever again. That is precious time that you can't get back, and you cannot put a price tag on that. So, you've got 2 choices before you. Option 1. Don't purchase the Siren Solution and continue wishing for your storybook ending, feeling uncertain, unfulfilled, or unclear about how to attract a man for keeps. Spending money on romantic date nights with your man that don't bring you closer. Or, if you are single, shelling out cash on girls' nights out, each week hoping to meet the one or just a decent prospect, hoping this time it's different. Or, option 2, bet on yourself and buy your copy of the Siren Solution at absolutely zero risk with my 60-day, no questions asked return policy. Learn all of my proven techniques based on the most famous bombshells in history and transform your love life into the incredibly passionate thing of beauty that you deserve. Confidently approach your relationships from a place of feminine power. Have that amazing man of your dreams chasing after you, whether you haven't met him yet or you've spent the last 20 years married to him. Look, I have done all the hard work and research for you. All you have to do is say yes, and all of these easy-to-use methods are yours. And don't just take my word for it. Hear what women just like you are saying about the results they've experienced after taking the Siren Solution. I just love this program. I've been in a relationship for 9 years, and going through this has made me feel like I have been refreshed. KCP. I love the Siren Strut exercise. It was awkward at first, but once I got the hang of it, it was fun. I actually used this one night, and it worked. And thanks for describing what needy is in a man's mind. Definitely not what I thought. Heather S. My husband has noticed a positive difference in how I carry myself, and he is finding me extremely irresistible. Corey B. And you can enjoy those same results too. I think your choice is pretty obvious, don't you? I've really made this such an easy decision. So now I ask you, say yes to the love you deserve and click that little buy button now. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Your private login access to the Siren Solution and free gifts will be delivered in a matter of moments right to your inbox. You can claim your feminine power right away. Your time is now. You are ready. That buy now button is the only thing between you and becoming the siren you are meant to be. And when you look back later on, knowing this was the moment everything changed in your love life, I want to hear all about it. I can't wait to see all that you achieve. XOXO, Felicity.